What's going on? Welcome back to the Wash Kings podcast. Today is officially the end of the trade deadline, and we got a lot to recap because going into those final hours, final minutes, a lot of shit went down. Most notably, the James Harden trade, of course, James Harden for Ben Simmons. So a summary of it, the 76ers received James Harden and Paul Millsap, and the Nets received Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, and 2 first-round picks. What's up, Yachty? How you feeling about this, bro? Your boy KD.
That nigga Daryl Morey, he been edged this whole time, bro. He was getting blue balled for months, and this nigga finally got his nut.
Oh my god,
crazy! Like, bro, he finally has James Harden. You know,
that's true.
And with that trade, you know, James Harden and Joel Embiid immediately become one of the most dangerous duos in the league.
I'd say they are the most dangerous duo in the league. I don't think there's any two better players in the league.
Clay and stuff.
Nah.
No?
No. James Harden and Joel Embiid are better than Clay and Steph. Are we crazy?
Splash Bros.
That's the best backcourt, but two players, just pick two players. Nah, that's the best duo, 100%.
They would be the best duo. That shit's about to be dangerous. That shit's about to be crazy.
I'm trying to think. Who else? Nah, there's no better duo.
Yeah, nah.
I mean, ideally a healthy KD Kyrie maybe, but I don't even. Nah. But yeah.
Nah, but since Ben Simmons is on the Nets now, you know what I'm saying? It's been said that him and KD are on the same page.
Yeah, they said Ben Simmons is thrilled.
Hey, so you know what that means, bro? Easy money sniper. K-Bizzle. Nigga is about to teach Ben Simmons broke ass how to shoot. No, it's game over for these niggas. I'm telling you.
His teammates, his coaches, all of Philly can't get this nigga to shoot. But KD, one player, is gonna get him to shoot. That would be money sniper, crazy. Hey. That would be crazy.
Hey. Watch.
It would also be crazy if this man plays his first game just like off rip. Like usually you do like one game off and then they get into it. If Ben Simmons plays immediately, I'm sorry, but I can't support the Nets, bro. I can't do it. Between Kyrie is I'm over Kyrie.
Okay, so this report came out while I was editing. And dude, if this is true, scratch everything I said. Fuck Kyrie too. I already hate Ben Simmons for the whole mental health bullshit, and I already rant about that in the upcoming clip. But this shit is just so annoying. I hate this roster so much. Also, I don't speak for Yawny, but yeah, I feel like he'd think the same way.
But if Ben Simmons hops back in just like immediately, bro, I can't support the Nets. I'm rooting against the Nets 100%, bro. I can't do it because that's some bullshit.
It's
the most underrated storyline in the fucking NBA. This man's using mental illness as a scapegoat to not play, and he tried to still get paid. He tried to use the mental illness thing to still get paid.
Happy in
Philly, it worked for a bit. Huh?
He wasn't happy in Philly, bro.
I don't give a fuck if you're not happy, bro.
Mental plays a major role when playing sports, bro.
Dude, Russell Westbrook is everybody is basically saying, I want to trade you, and he's still trying to play. Like, who cares, bro?
It's because that nigga Westbrook.
There are other situations of that too, especially in like NBA history. Dude, people get called out for anything. There's not, bro. This is some bullshit. It's stupid. It's the mental health thing is the issue though. Like
the thing is, I doubt he's gonna play though. I doubt he's gonna play the first game.
I swear, watch him, bro. I hope he doesn't, because if he does, that's some bullshit. Also, Kyrie is only gonna play. The Nets have what? There's like 30 games left, or like 20-some games left this season. Kyrie can only play in 10 of them. So, like, they need him to play. Like, they didn't trade him, because if Ben Simmons doesn't play and he keeps this shit up, right? Like, Seth Curry and Andre Drummond are not gonna get the job done. They're gonna they might fall out of the play-in at this rate, because just as the Nets are falling down, teams like the Hornets are falling down too, though. But teams like the Celtics and the Raptors are just climbing up right now.
They're just climbing.
So they got to get it together immediately, and the only way they do that is if they get Ben Simmons playing, because they just gave away James Harden, who was their only active, like, legit player. The Nets can't even the Nets struggle to score 80 points in a game when those three don't play, and so I just don't. So Ben Simmons has to play immediately, but if he does play immediately, I can't support it. I used to be the biggest Ben Simmons stan too. Like, I love this man. Like, bro, I can't. I've never had such a fall out of love with a player like I have with Ben Simmons. It's crazy.
But I mean, the Nets still pulled off like one of the craziest finesses this deadline.
You think it's
they
a
didn't
finesse?
have to give up Patty Mills. They didn't have to give up
All
Patty
right.
Mills in the trade.
That's
bro.
not a big deal, though. I don't think that's a big deal.
Like,
at all.
come on, dude.
I don't know how this
Like,
is a
come on,
finesse,
bro.
though. I don't see it as a finesse at all. I think if
Nah, that's just a finesse, bro.
you know what I do think though,
you get
is
two first round picks, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, and Ben Simmons. All you had to give up was James Harden and Paul Millsap.
Okay, but think about
Paul
it.
Millsap is washed. He's washed.
But also think about it this way: the Nets literally traded like what? What did they trade for James Harden? They traded like 3 first-round picks for James Harden in the first place. So they're really getting their shit back, but still net negative, right? In terms of picks for James Harden, right? And they got nothing out of it. They got an unhealthy James Harden in a playoff run that ended in the second round. It was a failed. The big three of the Nets was a failed experiment. And now, and this is more like to reconcile for the James Harden trade. So really, the only thing that's going to be the difference maker in this trade is Ben Simmons, right? Is what it comes down to. And also, I think anytime a team trades away Seth Curry, it's a mistake because every time they do, their offense just like tanks. The Blazers traded away Seth. That was a mistake. Dallas trades away Seth. That was a mistake. Now Philly traded it. We'll see what happens. I think I'm missing a team in between all that. But every time a team trades away Seth, it always spells disaster for their offense. But you got James Harden back, so I guess it doesn't matter. And also, just like we said with the Raptors, when they traded for Kawhi, even though they knew he was going to be gone in 1 year, if you win a championship, it's worth it. It doesn't matter what the fuck you do.
Chip, it's a W trade regardless.
It doesn't matter if you tank your fucking season for the next decade or 2 decades. If you win a championship, you did it. It's a win trade. So,
and their chances, the Sixers' chances of winning the chip increased crazily once they acquired James. So
that's why I think, to me, it's like both teams made a win now move. Like, so if whichever team wins the chip this season, if neither of them win, that's tough. But if whichever one wins the chip is the one who won the trade, because they both did this to win a championship now. The Nets low-key thought about future too, because James Harden is obviously not into the idea of staying. This man clearly doesn't want to be there anymore. So so they're not going to extend him, right? So it's just like this was. I mean, they had to do this. With Philly though, I think the only thing you could say about Philly is that they low-key rushed it, because if they did wait to the end of the season, I mean, unfortunate for Joel Embiid, he might not get any help. But if they did wait to the end of the season, I think they wouldn't have had to give up nearly as much.
No,
and I don't think
because James would have just walked away.
And the Nets weren't entertaining any trade ideas really with anybody else, as far as we heard from rumors and stuff. No one else is gonna, they weren't interested in anybody else. There was nobody offering a package as good as this. So I think the 76ers, if they wanted to, if they didn't want to rush and win now, like this season, they definitely could have waited, because by that time, I mean, the Ben Simmons shit would have festered even more, and it would have been like, get this man out, right? And then same with Harden, though. It would have been like, get this man out, but at the same time, it's like, it's James Harden. You have more leverage, right? So it's like
way more leverage than Ben.
Way more leverage. You don't have to give up. The Seth Curry is tough, bro. I'm glad that they didn't have to give up Matisse Thybulle or Tyrese Maxey, because I know Matisse Thybulle was asked the first time.
When I saw those reports of like them asking for Matisse and Maxey, that shit was crazy, bro. Because
I can't do that.
That's like giving up your whole future right there, bro. It's just
And if you're acquiring James Harden, you need all the defense you can get. And so
even though his defense is kind of underrated, but
Matisse Thybulle?
No, James.
Oh, Tyrese Maxey. Oh, James Harden.
James Harden.
I don't think James Harden isn't.
He has he has low key defense, bro. It's not something you'll actively see. It's just like real.
Yeah, I think like many players, it's like James Harden plays defense when he wants to. I think this when he tries, it's decent enough, which is literally damn near everybody in the league, unless you're like that bad. But yeah. Anyway, that's that trade. I mean, we could get into the on-court stuff, but I just want to see it happen. Honestly, I don't really care. I want to see how it fits. James Harden and Joel Embiid sound scary. Joel Embiid's not really a pick and roll big. Like he can be. Joel Embiid can do anything, but
he can do anything.
Yeah. So I would.
That's not really his game per se.
Right. It's like now when you think of Joel Embiid, you think like just dominating in every facet of the game, but like not really pick and roll. So I'd love to see how James Harden unlocks Joel Embiid's pick and roll game, because James Harden is, I think, one of the best pick and roll guards like of all time, honestly. But yeah.
Okay.
And then Ben Simmons, that's just a wait and see, bro. I don't fucking know. Dude, because I literally have no clue. Part of me hopes he plays so I can see how it happens because it would be so interesting. But another part of me is just like, fuck this dude if he actually comes back immediately.
Hey, bro,
crazy.
If the Nets play the Sixers,
in the playoffs, that'd be nuts.
In the playoffs, or even later on in the season, it's gonna be a Ben Simmons revenge tour. I'm telling you.
Nah, bro, I want to see a Philly home court advantage because that's definitely what's gonna happen. I want to see a Philly home court advantage, and I want to see Ben Simmons playing. Dude, that would be
all you're gonna see is fuck Ben Simmons, like fuck Ben. That's all he's gonna be hearing.
I can't think of a time where you'll see more hate against like a player. It's Philly. They're the most mean mean fan base ever.
Then, like Joel Embiid encapsulates that whole ambiance that they have around their basketball culture.
The tweet. That shit was trolling.
That boy Troel, bro. He was just
Troel. Oh man. No, that's just that would be so entertaining. But yeah, to give Ben Simmons the benefit of the doubt though, I think the spacing thing won't be as big of an issue, won't be nearly as big of an issue on the Nets because
hell no.
Yeah, because even if he still decides to be the same Ben Simmons that doesn't shoot the ball, right? It's not that big a deal. And I think it was only as big of a deal as it was in Philly because Joel Embiid plays in the paint. So the only place Ben Simmons can escape to, right, is the paint. That's why it clogs up a lot more. And his shooting woes are exponentially worse because he's fucking up Joel Embiid's game too. So I think him being like more of a, I don't want to compare him to I don't want to compare him to Draymond. I used to, but I can't do it anymore. He's a poor man. He could be like a poor man's Draymond, which I mean, any team would die to have even a poor man's version of Draymond. So he could be that nice transition / half-court facilitator.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, yeah, there's not going to be a lot of pressure on him either. Not that it matters because fuck Ben Simmons. I hate Ben Simmons. I hate Ben Simmons. I was Yawny. I defended this man so much. You don't understand. Bro. Sam knows. I used to argue that he was better than Draymond.